me a nightmare transaction.
Oh my God, I think that was with you. Jeez. Day 2 on my vacation, get a call from this transaction that is on life support. It left, it came back, and then it didn't, and I'm over there with shitty service. Where are you guys from? Because I hear an accent. I said, no, those are just my kids don't know how to speak proper Spanish. Wait, can we skip the last question? I have to go. I really do. Oh, really? Damn it.
How's it going, Krystal?
Hey,
All right.
It's been a while.
It has been a while, although we're on the same
you.
team.
I know. We talk
like,
every day, but we don't see each other.
I know. It's good to see you in person.
Yes. So. And you know, this is a question that I get asked a lot. Is Erica alive? They do. They call me and they ask me, is Erica okay? Is she alive? I call her. She doesn't answer. And I'm just like, you have to be on her VIP list. I'm sorry. Exclusive VIP list. No.
Every client is on my VIP list, by the way.
No, these are colleagues, but they're looking for you. They can't find you. They want to know if you're alive. Are you?
I'm alive. I'm alive in flesh and in color, So, but that's the reason I have you as my right-hand man.
Yes.
Because you keep me alive and in checked and informed.
Yeah, that's true. No, yeah. And whatever they need, I'm here to help you. And I know you're gonna get to them. They just
eventually.
Yes, you do. Yeah. But yeah.
Cool. So I hear you went on vacation.
Yes, I did.
Nice. Must be nice.
I took my No Sabo kids to Mexico. We went to Guayabitos. It was so much fun. And
your No Sabo kids. You're gonna have to explain to me what that is.
Oh my God. As much as you talk to them in Spanish and they understand, they just don't respond. Yeah, they no sabo. And some of the vendors over there were like, where are you guys from? Because I hear an accent. I said, no, those are just my kids don't know how to speak proper Spanish.
Oh my goodness.
But we went over there. We had a lot of fun. And it never fails that when you go on vacation,
I know what you're going to say.
You get a lot of get all your clients coming back at once.
So if you want business as a real estate agent, go on a vacation.
Go out of town.
Because it never, ever fails where I swear sometimes I decide to get away for the weekend or, I decide to go on vacation and I'm in my car, haven't even left the block. And it just so happens that, it's about to be the biggest transaction of my life. Never fails. Yeah. And I have a friend who's notorious. I swear she has a tracker on me or a camera and she always knows the perfect time to call Erica. I'm ready to buy my next investment property. Shout out Cynthia.
Hey, Cynthia.
Hey.
It always happens. I left all these things that I had pending. I thought I left them good to go for the next 10 days that I was going to be out. I said I should be able to relax and enjoy. Day 2 on my vacation, I get a call from this transaction that is on life support. It left, it came back, and then it didn't. And I'm over there with shitty service because the service at the hotel was bad. And I'm trying to save deals. I'm trying not to call you to bother you because I know you were going to go out of town. And I'm like, what happened? I thought I left everything good and quiet and
Never
calm.
failed.
But no, it was good. Yeah, we always work it out.
Oh, yeah, absolutely.
So that one worked out. But then you have those clients that I want to go see a house right now.
Right now.
Not Saturday, not in 2 days.
Not in 2 hours.
Right now.
Drop whatever you're doing because there's nothing more important than looking at this house. Yeah. Right now. Not let me get a showing agent for you.
Yeah.
Right now.
And you tell your clients too, you're going to be out of town, if you need anything, if there's an emergency, call me. The emergency is I need to see that house right now. Can we do it? Are you here?
Right. The house has been on the market, by the way, for 197 days.
Yes, it's not going anywhere.
But then it never fails. The second that they decide to look at that house, all of a sudden, no offers for 2 months.
And then it has multiple offers.
Then you go multiple offers above asking, no concessions,
Yes.
no
Out
nothing.
of
Yeah.
nowhere,
Yeah.
all these people wanted that house.
Yes. Oh my God. Yeah. It
Yeah.
never fails. But yeah.
But yeah, we had fun. Like I said, that deal was what stressed me out. But no, in the end, it worked out. I was able to enjoy the vacation afterwards. I came back. We fixed it and then just proceeded with everything else that I had to do.
So you revived the on life support, and you were able to revive it.
It was bad. It was bad, but then it wasn't. Good. Yeah. But that always happens, right? You can never predict where your deal is going.
Never.
You want to, but it hardly happens.
Yeah. There's just so many people involved, so many moving parts that, at the end of the day, you have two buyers on a regular transaction, typical transaction. You have two sellers. You know, you have a lender, you have a real estate agent, you have 2 real estate agents.
Yeah.
And you have title involved. So there's 12, there could be up to 12 people involved before it's all said and done.
And you have to keep the flow going of the communication, make sure nobody's lost.
Yeah.
In the process and everything. Yes.
Yeah. Yeah. So good. Well, I'm glad you enjoyed yourself. Must be nice.
It's fun. Yes.
I wish I could go on vacation.
Girl, you go out every weekend or every other weekend.
When I grow up, I want to be like you and be able to vacation.
Yes.
Yeah. So that's good. That's good. Yeah. No, I've gone on a couple little trips here and there. So, but yeah. Did you bring me back something?
Sand.
Hey, real estate. Thank you. Hey, you brought me back some real estate from Mexico.
But
I always wanted to own real estate in Mexico.
Yes. Oh, so do I. I always want to look into that. Like where we vacationed, we're like, we should come here next year. And while there, I was just looking around and saying, maybe I can purchase a condo here or something.
Is it me, or do we always want to look at real estate wherever we're at?
Yes.
And I always tell myself, oh, I want to buy a place here.
Yeah.
It happens all the time.
It does.
I don't know.
And then I'm always inspecting buildings. Is that normal? I go in there and I'm looking around to see if I see any water
termites
stains on the ceiling.
Water stains and termites are the first thing that I look for. Yeah. And smoke detectors, believe it or not.
Oh, really? No, I don't look at that, but I do look at their foundation, and I don't know why, but it does
the
follow
real
me.
estate agent in us.
Yeah, it is.
Yeah.
So, wherever I go, though, even if you invite me to your house, I'm looking to see if you have a minor crack.
Yeah.
Is that something you should address?
I don't have termites at home, so we're good. Yeah, that's so I'm really, I'm really happy that we actually finally got to sit down and, just bullshit at this point,
right?
But, we're doing some exciting things,
I
as
know,
a team,
I know. And I can't wait.
Big changes coming, and, exciting. I'm excited to make that announcement with you.
Yes.
And,
that's all I've been thinking about. And then, just moving forward. And
so we as real estate agents, deal with a lot of different transactions. We work with a lot of clients, tons of clients. Thankfully, we're blessed.
Yes.
So of course we have stories. We can go on for days with stories of, different transactions, and every transaction is different.
Yes. And they all have a different story, a different meaning. They touch you in other different ways.
Yeah. I mean, they either stress you out to no end, or they, they're as memorable as they can be. So tell me about one of the most memorable transactions that you've ever had.
Well, I have several, but I will share. When I first got into real estate, I was 3 months in, and this lady calls me. I can't remember how she called me or how she found me. She calls me to ask me if I can help her shop for a home. Mm-hmm. And she's in a wheelchair, so she asked me if I can go to her house because she couldn't come to the office. And sure enough, I did. I went over. And so she's telling me her story on how she got there, and we're talking. I remember that visit was very long, because, when you start talking, you get into other subjects and it just goes on and on. And so I don't know. I felt really comfortable with her.
Mm-hmm.
She felt very comfortable with me. She did tell me that she had an agent, but she was working with somebody previously, but that person didn't help her like she needed.
Right.
That person didn't call her back, didn't show her homes, didn't. So that made me, that right there just made me question, what are we doing as agents?
Right.
And then she tells me I'm working on a very small budget. And to me, it doesn't matter your budget, really. If you're approved for 5,000 or 5 million, I'm going to help you.
Everyone should be treated the same and should get the same level of service.
Exactly.
That we strive to provide.
Exactly. And so we were working on a small budget. This was pre-COVID, maybe 7 years ago.
Mm-hmm.
And so we were after that, we started house hunting. And we were looking and she needed a house to accommodate, her needs.
Mm-hmm.
Because going into this home, she wasn't going to be able to custom the home to her needs because, of her budget. So she kind of needed something ready, mm-hmm. and then, work from there later. So we were shopping. We couldn't find a lot of things out there. There wasn't a lot of homes back then, mm-hmm. for sale. And we didn't have much luck, especially on her budget. But then I started to look for homes way over her budget, homes that were on the market for a long time.
Yeah.
And I found one, and it happened to have a ramp because she needed a ramp. And it happened to have a walk-in shower. She needed a walk-in shower. That was very important to her. And just the way that the home was structured, it was like it was meant to be for her.
Yeah.
And so I showed them the home. It was out of their budget, but we did put an offer on it with what she was able to offer, and we got it.
Wow.
Yeah. And I didn't believe it. I was 3 months into real estate. That was mm-hmm. my first mobile home transaction. Mm-hmm. And those are a little difficult if you're doing it for the first time. Yes. They have different requirements. And so we got it. She couldn't believe it. I couldn't believe it. It was very. Aww. And so I helped her with that one. And then that was 7 years ago, and we still keep in contact. Yeah. So
friends.
Yes. As friends. She'll invite me over for dinner. Yeah. She'll invite my family. Yeah. She will send me her clients. I was helping her daughter. And then she'll bring, her la cuñada, la tía, or, other people that I've helped that she just, refers to me. And that's something I'm never going to forget. She was one of my first, and it meant, it means a lot.
Sure. And that's the thing about real estate. That's the beauty about real estate is you make lifelong friends, not just real estate agents, colleagues, people you worked with, but families you've served. Yeah. Because that's what we do. We serve our clients. We're here to serve you. So, but you make these lifelong friendships, and it goes with every single agent out there that has really put their heart into this career will end up making lifelong friends. Yeah. And it could be a real estate agent, lender, whomever is involved. As long as you pour your heart into it, and they see, they'll see, how much passion and how much time, effort, and energy you put into that.
Yeah. How much you value that. Correct. And I have several clients like that keep calling me. Yeah. Some of them just call me just to say hi. Yeah. Some of them call me and say, "Hey, you didn't answer me. I'm just wondering if you're alive." Yeah. You you didn't answer the other day, and I'm sorry. I know I meant to get back to you, but they're like, "No, I'm just calling to see, making sure you're okay, you're alive. Yeah. If you need anything." Yeah. And it's those connections that you
It's the connections, and it's so to me, it's wonderful to be able to keep in touch with your clients, and that's actually really important in this industry is to keep in contact, because not only are you just checking in. And it's just to check in, just to say hi, just to, see how it's going. But also offer to help them out however they can.
Yeah.
It may not, they already bought the house, but do you need any recommendations on,
On
the
anything
best
else?
restaurant or,
Yeah.
a handyman or, whatever. But
Exactly.
I try to do that, and I'm guilty of not doing that consistently.
Mhm.
But, every once in a while, I'll give I'll call someone, send them a message, even do a video text, just, hey, just checking in to see how you're doing. And, if there's anything you need, I'm here.
Exactly. And they remember that,
Yeah,
they remember
absolutely.
that. They'll call you again.
Yeah. I
when they
mean,
look for you.
I've had clients or, customers, clients, and transactions from, nice, heartfelt, sentimental, transactions to, I never ever hope to see you again.
Yeah.
type.
Oh, yeah.
So, what has been one of the most stressful transactions for you?
Stressful. Well, a lot of them are stressful. To pick one.
Tell me a nightmare transaction.
Oh my God, I think that was with you. Jeez. Yeah, that the seller, she put us through a lot.
I know who you're talking about.
Yeah, and that was very stressful because it was, yeah, go ahead. No, don't.
Yeah. And that's so she was one day put the house on the market. The next,
no,
we brought her an offer too.
Yes.
Really good offer.
A willing, ready, and able buyer.
Yes.
And everything was going good until she said no.
And then decided just to not sell.
And then after
for no reason.
Yeah. And then after that buyer, canceled, or because we had to cancel, she wanted to go back on the market again.
And we didn't talk to her for a few months.
Yeah.
But called us back and said, put my house on the market again.
Yeah.
We're ready to sell. And keep in mind, we spent money on photos, professional photography, video. So we are we're invested at that point. And we spend a lot of time, money, energy to make our presentations beautiful presentations, so that in turn it just it does justice for the home, and we do what we're hired to do, is to sell a home.
Yeah.
But
exactly.
that was it was a roller coaster.
It was, yeah, because she was just all over the place.
Yeah.
And one night she called me. It was 11:30 at night.
Mm-hmm.
And when they call you that late, it's an emergency.
Yeah.
I really thought her house was on fire. I said, oh my God, is she calling me because the house is on fire?
Yeah.
The one that we listed. And so I answer because I'm awake and I'm thinking the house, something happened to the house, somebody broke in. I don't know. And then she says, I lost my key to go in. Can you come and open the lockbox so I can get that key? No, lady.
She doesn't even live in the house.
She doesn't live in the house. It's vacant.
Yeah.
Why did she need a key at 11:30? I don't know. I didn't ask. But I'm like, no, lady, I can't go. I'm sorry. I will go in the morning.
Yeah.
You have to set boundaries too.
Correct.
And so she got really upset that I couldn't go. I said, maybe call a locksmith. I'll send you a phone number for a locksmith.
Mm-hmm.
We're agents. We're not working 24/7.
No.
There's a cutoff time.
There should be at one point, we, of course, try to make ourselves available to our clients.
Yeah.
As much as possible.
Yes.
Right. But we also have lives.
Yes.
We have families. We have to shut down at one point.
Yeah.
The way, and if people who know me are watching this, they'll know Erica never stops. Like, her mind is a million miles an hour, even in bed. There's times where I wake up at 3:00 in the morning
checking
and
an email.
Yeah, exactly.
Because we're thinking an email is going to come in at midnight or something.
And they do sometimes. And it's that's just the way we're wired. We're wired to go a million miles an hour.
Yeah.
And I get it, but I'm not going to take a call at 12:00 at night to answer a question that can be answered in the morning. Now, on the flip side, though, I've set my alarm for 2:00 in the morning to take a call for a client who works nights and is getting off work and has to talk at that hour. Because they're asleep during the day. And these are questions.
And that's understandable.
Correct. Yeah. So,
but to tell me I left my key, I don't have a key. I can get that in the morning for you. Yeah. And, some lock boxes, they lock at, after 8 p.m. or something, But it was, that was very stressful. The demands that she had that she had sometimes.
Right.
But
as long as and most clients are very understandable. They understand, that we're human too. And I get that a lot. It's Erica, are you even human? You have, no, we don't see you. We don't see you half the year, but it's because I'm busy working. I'm sorry. I can't attend a lot of I can't attend a lot of these social events because I'm busy working. So,
but it's true. Like when you said earlier, it's 3:00 in the morning. We're checking our emails. We
really are.
I think we're just
wired that way. Yeah. I think, and I think most real estate agents or lenders or title, escrow officers can relate, but it happens. It's just, and I think a lot of people are wired that way, but I think a lot of it has to do with the type of world we live in.
Yeah.
So we just have everything so readily available to us, and we can literally work from our cell phone.
Yeah.
And because we live on our cell phone, we work on our cell phone, and we just have everything available to us. And that could be a good thing. That's a great thing in terms of productivity, but it's really something that we need to learn how to disconnect. And I'm guilty for not knowing how to disconnect.
Because it can take a toll on you.
Absolutely. And it has, absolutely. So, so have you ever had any scary encounters or situations?
Yes, I have. I was showing a new construction home one night. It was 6:30. It was already I think it was at 7. The sun went down at 7, I think. My clients had left. I was locking up, turning off all the lights, locking up. And then this truck pulls up right in front of the door. And not on the driveway or on the street, in front of the door in reverse. Mm-hmm. And I'm looking at them and I'm like, oh my God, they're not the owners because this is a new construction. And I don't know what they're doing. They're not the workers because the workers left at 5. That's why I had this showing at this time. That was the time available. And so I'm like, I don't want to leave now. I can't. It wasn't in the middle of nowhere, but your neighbors were far.
Yeah.
It was here in town, and so I called the listing agent. I said, "Are you expecting anyone with a red truck here at the home that I'm showing?" And she says, "No, but let me ask." And that was scary because she didn't know. Sometimes, the agent knows who's going to show up or who's going to arrive. And so I guess she's making calls because she takes a while to call me back. And this guy is getting off the truck and then he's just looking around. He knows I'm there because my car is there. And so everything is locked up. I did lock the front door as soon as I saw him pull up. And then she calls me and she's like, "Oh, it's one of the workers. He's just there to fix something that he didn't get to earlier." But I'm like, why does he show up like?
Can he announce and not go in?
Yeah, why does he drove all the way to the front in reverse? I don't know what I'm thinking. Normal people don't park like that. No, but it was one of the workers. But it was scary because I didn't know. And you're looking for a logo on a truck. I didn't see one, so that's why I'm thinking I don't know who this person is, or maybe. Who knows who this person is, but that was scary.
Wow.
And then I had another one where I was showing a home out in the foothills. It was hot. Mm-hmm. It was in the summer. I opened the shed and somebody comes out.
What? Out of the shed?
Yes. The person didn't seem drunk. They were just like, "Oh, I'm sorry, I'm leaving.
In 115-degree weather?
Yeah. And
what was he? Who was he?
I don't know. He got his backpack and just left. My other clients were there. They were looking and they were a little scared too. They were like kind of staying behind. But I called the agent and I said, hey, just to let you know, somebody walked out of the shed like this, like that. And the next day, they went and put a lock on this shed. It didn't have a lock, but that person popping out of nowhere was scary because you don't know.
Just a squatter or
I
just
think
looking
so.
for a place to stay.
Probably. And back then, I did hear a lot of stories that people will stay in vacant homes.
Of course. I mean, because no one's living in them.
And nobody checks up on them or anything.
Exactly.
And so that person, I'm sure, was just staying at the shed at that time. But it's scary because you don't know what they're thinking. They might be afraid of you or, you never know.
And that's the dangers of being a real estate agent, because we are, if you think about it, we are easy targets for anyone who wants to do damage, right? Like someone who wants to go in and, and steal from the home, or someone who
Scope out,
or someone who wants to, do harm to us. Yeah. We are easy targets because we're showing homes, empty homes to people, and then keep in mind to some clients we've never met,
strangers,
complete strangers. We're walking into homes that we don't know or we've never been into, with people we have no clue, who they are, other than our first initial meeting, or hey,
the pre-qual that shows you the name and their address.
We're not trained to defend ourselves.
No.
We don't. Arizona's we can carry, but at the same time, we're
not trained.
That's why we always have to definitely watch our surroundings and know our client as much as possible. Always have a security plan in place. Always tell someone where you're going to be at.
Where you're at. Yeah. And it's very important, I think, to share your location.
Sure.
Because we're going to different places all day.
Yeah, with complete strangers to homes we've never been in.
Exactly.
So it's scary. It can be scary. I mean, I've had a few scary situations where, I also, someone I've never met, show a home in the rural part of Yuma, and the next house is a mile down, down the road, and from what I understood, it was going to be this guy who is moving from Tucson here, and he calls and says, I'm ready to buy, cash buyer. So no pre-qual. So, he's only talked to me. I asked him to send me a picture of his driver's license, and he did, and it turned out to be a fake driver's license.
Oh, goodness.
And but I, so I thought, okay, I've taken my security measures, and I've taken a copy of his driver's license. Yeah, that's all you can do. So I said, okay, fine, send me proof of funds, sends me a bank statement with money. Turns out it wasn't even his bank statement. But again, at that time, we're showing a home to a client, and we're basically excited to help a client buy a house. So get there, turns out it's not him. He not only showed up with two other guys, showed up in a car that didn't even belong to him. Turns out, and I didn't find this out until towards the end, was a stolen car. And then next thing I know, I log on to our MLS page, and there's an alert. This guy is, targeting real estate agents. So when I saw that there were three guys, and it was also getting dark at that time, when I saw that there were three guys there, and
to raise suspicion.
Exactly. So I ended up not showing the home. I said, I'm sorry, but I am not prepared for this. I'm not prepared. I'm not. The seller asked that we not show the home today, is what I said. And so let's
just to get out
circle
of there,
back. Yeah. Let's circle back tomorrow, and I'll be happy to show the home, to you tomorrow. And, at that point I thought, okay, you know what? The first thing I need to do is get out of here. There was no way I would have been able to get out of there without either screaming, running, and putting up a fight, or basically making up some sort of excuse or giving him a reason to leave. So he kind of, he saw that I, was on alert at that point,
Yeah.
and had to take a call. Like, you have to take a call right now.
No.
It looks like,
Yeah. No.
So I got on the phone, and I made a call, and I think it was Norza that I called, and I had him on speaker because I wanted these guys to know that I had someone on the other line. And I'm like, hey, Norza, I am at this. I'm in the middle of a showing here at this address. Let me just keep you on the phone because I'm getting ready to wrap up. So knowing that I had someone on the phone raised a flag to them. And so they ended up leaving. But then again, I didn't know the danger of me showing this home to them at the moment until after I left. And found out he was basically targeting agents and,
oh my God. How scary.
Sexually assaulting, or attempting to sexually assault agents.
Oh my God.
So yeah, it was very scary. And, but again, I don't know if it was me being naive, thinking, okay, you seem innocent, or, you sent me, I thought I was taking all my, everything. I was doing everything that I was supposed to do, get a copy of his driver's license, asking for proof of funds, things like that. Well, that was, so we definitely put ourselves in very risky situations, not even knowing it. And at the end of the day, we're just trying to do our job.
Exactly.
So when clients ask me why I'm asking for information, personal information, it's not because I'm trying to be nosy. It's not me trying to be nosy. It's me protecting myself and protecting my clients at the same time. Yeah. So no, we're not trying to be nosy.
No, we're not.
We're not trying to see how much you have in your bank account.
We don't care.
Especially, but
wait, we do care.
Well, yeah, that does matter at some point. But, so yeah, I think that's a lot of what we experience and go through. So every day is an emotional roller coaster for us too.
Yeah.
So not only a buyer or a seller, I know it's emotional for them. Yeah. We're handling the biggest financial assets, but also for us, we go through a lot, we experience a lot, and
but I mean, those vacant homes are scary.
Vacant homes are definitely scary.
And if they've been on the market for a long time, you're either going to find a snake or find someone in there. Because,
snake, scorpion, tarantula.
Or a cat that's been abandoned that just comes out of nowhere. But opening those sheds.
Yeah.
You're like, I hope I don't see a tarantula in here. No.
Anything from that, or, a brown recluse or something. Oh my God. Any of that can kill you.
Yeah.
Any of those can kill you.
One time I showed a home, and I think it had instructions. This guy, the seller, he had a lot of reptiles. A lot. He had
voluntarily?
Yes. It was a 3-bedroom. 2 of them were for his reptiles. Uh-huh. And I swear when I walked out of there, I thought I had eggs on me because there were so many.
Oh my goodness.
He was obsessed.
Wow.
But I'm like, this for me is scary. Yeah. So I would open the door for my clients. I'm like, if you want to go in there and see the room, go ahead. Yeah. I'm going to wait out here in the hallway. He had everything.
So along from safety concerns, there's environmental concerns too.
Yes.
So we have to.
Yes. Oh yeah. You have to watch out for that. You have to watch out for their house pets. They'll tell you close the door so the cat doesn't get out because the cat wants to get out. And that's, you have to be on top of everyone. Yes. Hey, please close the door. I'll be the last one to so that I can close the door. Or the chickens outside. They will run after you.
Those chickens.
Yeah, they run after you because they want to play with you. The horses. You have to just be on alert on everything.
Yeah. It's not easy. Real estate
You're
is
babysitting
not for the
everything.
faint of heart. I
Yeah, no.
promise you. It's not rainbows and butterflies.
Yeah.
I mean, it's not all glitz and glamour. There's a lot of
Yeah.
moving parts, a lot of I mean, and then this is just real estate. So if you have, throw in your kids' activities,
Oh yeah.
like I have
That
to get
little
them at
window you have
T-ball,
to, like,
baseball, school,
Yeah.
plays, school events, things like that. Yeah. So
Yeah.
you're juggling a lot as a real estate agent.
Yeah, you are. Oh, speaking of juggling a lot, I was showing a home while planning a funeral.
Wow.
And that was my reality check right there. I was like, what am I doing?
Yeah.
I know my clients are asking me to work with them, but I have to say no at some point.
Yeah.
And step back.
Yeah.
Because that was very hard for me. So I was showing a home and then I was crying. So I was like, I can't do both.
Mm-hmm.
So I learned there to step back.
That's when you learn to set your boundaries.
Yes.
You have to at one point. And if those clients don't understand or they're not willing to wait
right,
then they're not the clients for you.
And you know what? And those clients have been repeat clients 3 times for me.
Yeah.
Because after that phone call, I said, you know what? I'm going through this right now. I'm going to have to stop.
Yeah.
For the next 2-3 weeks.
Mm-hmm.
And they were like, no, that's fine.
Yeah.
They were very understanding. And they've been repeat clients 3 times for me already since then.
Those are the greatest clients to work with.
Yes.
And that's what makes us want to give them that much more. But on a side note, that's why you have a team.
I know. Yes, this was COVID, right?
Okay.
During COVID, I was on my own.
Yeah.
And I was trying to work. COVID got really busy. So I started working more, and then I had to plan that.
Yeah.
And I didn't want to let go of my clients because, you want to keep busy.
Sure.
You want to keep your mind off of things.
Yeah.
And so I accepted to keep working.
Yeah.
And that's what happened. And then that's when I realized, I said, I can't be crying and showing a home. I have to stop.
Yeah.
So I did. And they were very understanding, like I said. And they're the ones that call me and check up on me and tell me, are you alive? Are you good? How's it going? Yeah, they've been really,
that's awesome.
Really nice.
I mean, that's good to be able to, it's refreshing and it's,
it is. Yeah.
It's great to have clients like that. Like I said, we have clients who become lifelong friends and I'm very grateful for those clients and those now friends. So anything else that you want to share with us? Any, other than some big news that we're going to be sharing in a few weeks?
No, that's pretty much it for now.
Yeah.
Until we can talk more about, what we're
we're
doing. But that's it. I'm looking forward to more of these chit chats with you. They're fun.
Yeah. No, I
have a lot more stories. You do too.
Oh, we have tons, and I think it's gonna get better and better. And I think the people that we'll bring on board are gonna be, they're gonna add a lot of excitement to what we have planned. And so I'm very thankful and very appreciative and blessed to have you on my team.
Oh, thank you so much. You've been a great help, Erica.
Yeah.
You've been amazing.
Since day one, we were study buddies.
Since day one, and we didn't even know it.
No. We went to the real estate academy together and you were sitting there in the front by yourself, and I was like, I want to sit right next to her.
Who's this I want to sit right next to her because she seems like she knows what she's doing.
Or she has no clue and she got there late and that was the only seat available, which is at the very front. I'll sit with this poor soul.
That's where it all started.
Yeah. So that's exciting. But I'm excited and I can't wait for things
What's to come. Yeah.
More to come. So last question. Your best childhood memory.
Wait, can we skip the last question? I have to go. I really do.
Oh, really? Damn it.
So, Erica, I had to leave earlier last time, but I'm here to finish up.
Oh, our last podcast?
Yes.
Yeah, thank you. You left me hanging. I appreciate
that.
I'm
so sorry.
Oh, no, thank
Mommy
you.
duties.
I get it. I remember those days.
Oh, yeah. So I know we always talk about, business.
Yeah. Yeah.
And
real estate's always no matter where you go, you can go grab a cup of coffee, you can go to a restaurant, you can go to a bar. The second people start talking about real estate, or they find out you're a real estate agent, boom.
Right?
Yeah,
From
let's
there.
talk real estate. Yeah.
But I do want to get a little personal. I got into real estate because when I purchased my first home, I didn't have representation.
Okay.
And so it was very scary, very stressful, because first-time home buyers don't really know who to call, who to contact, how you get represented. So I went through this by myself with my husband. And so from there, I said, you know what? I want to get into this. I want to help those that don't know. But I want to ask you now, how did you get into real estate?
Okay. So how I got into real estate, I was working for a government organization at the time. And after getting my degree, I was able to promote, right? I went from working in human resources to working in administration. And there was an opportunity to go into real estate development contracts. And so just being around it, being in the environment of real estate, drew my attention to real estate. And when I was a little girl, I always said that I was going to own multiple properties. I was 14, 15, 16 years old. And I always said to myself, I want to own multiple homes.
Wow.
And that was always in the back of my mind. I always, aspired. I dreamed of owning multiple properties and someday becoming an investor in one way, shape, or form.
And you are, you already are. Yeah.
So what I did is, and then, like I said, being around, being in the real estate atmosphere, it just drove me to get my license, and it has been. The thing about me is when I apply myself, I do it with heart and I do it with passion. No matter what I'm doing, I am very passionate about whatever I'm doing. So I got my real estate license, and I was a part-time real estate agent for about 2-3 years, but was working. It was a full-time job. There's no such thing as being a part-time real estate agent.
Right? Yeah.
So yeah, I was working, with this organization. Then I moved to law enforcement, to end my career with that organization, and was working 7 p.m. to 7 a.m. with, in the law enforcement sector. And I would go home. I remember I would run home and sleep for about 3-4 hours and wake up and take calls, return calls from clients.
Yeah.
I would, basically just jump into real estate showings, and this is during, the boom.
Busy.
So
yeah.
I would sometimes show homes up until 7 p.m., 6:30 p.m. and go straight to work, another 12 hours.
Wow.
So, but because I loved real estate, I loved serving my clients, I was very passionate. It didn't feel like a job.
Yeah.
It was something that I personally loved doing. So it just drove me to do more and more and more and more. It could be burnout. You can definitely burn out with real estate in real estate. But again, it was a passion. It's almost like an addiction. But that's how I got into real estate is, being in that environment. I used it as a segue to get into doing something that I truly wanted to do.
Yeah.
And why I think to me is very important. Why did you get into real estate? We all have a reason or reasons why we get into real estate, right? Mine was because it had been a childhood dream to own multiple properties. And I was a single mother for most of my children's lives. So I pulled, a lot of weight during that time. So I raised them. They saw me struggle. They saw, it was rough, but it drove me to prove to them that I could do it by myself, that I was able to actually, live and provide the life that I wanted to provide to them,
Mhm.
which always, is putting a roof over their head and showing them that you can do it if you
Yeah.
apply yourself
And
and you
push
put your
yourself, yeah.
heart and your mind to it.
Yeah, absolutely.
And and because I wanted to basically become an entrepreneur
Mhm.
and be successful. Again, I'm nowhere near where I want to be. I'm just barely getting
But
started.
you are doing amazing.
So I have so many. I'm very ambitious.
Yeah.
I have a lot of goals, and when I grow up, I just want to be able to say that I left a legacy.
Yeah.
Build that legacy for my family, my loved ones, and at the same time, do it in a manner where I serve my clients well. And
Right. Yeah.
they're happy
Yeah.
to have me. They're proud to say
That you
that
represented them,
I
yeah.
represented them, that I helped them, and that I changed their lives.
Wow,
That's
that's
my why.
amazing. No, yeah, that's awesome. Because I remember meeting you in class,
Uh-huh.
but we never talked about it. What
Right.
got you into here? And since then we've been
Yeah,
talking.
besties.
And,
Yeah. No, and yeah, I remember those late night study sessions where at Denny's,
right?
Denny's in the back room, away
The
from people.
library.
The library, my kitchen,
Yes,
dining kitchen
yes,
table.
yes, I remember going there.
It wasn't as easy in a sense as I thought it was going to be, because we were working full time. We have kids, we have
Yeah.
all these responsibilities. So doing
It
that
wasn't.
and then in turn, going to class from 6 p.m. to 10 p.m. Monday through
Yeah,
Friday.
I know.
And then testing,
hard.
having how many different tests? 3 to be able to get. Yeah. So anyone in real estate understands that.
Yeah.
It's
You put in a lot of work.
You put in a lot of work.
Mhm.
Absolutely. So it's not easy. It's not for everyone.
No.
But those who truly do it with passion will be successful.
Yeah.
And as
I absolutely believe that.
we both we started at the same time and went
Yeah.
different directions, and then we ended
Found
up
each other
yeah,
again.
found each other again, and here we are,
Yeah.
one of Yuma's top producing teams.
Right? Yeah.
Who would have thought?
I know.
Crazy, right?
And I know. I think about that all the time. I said, oh my God. I remember she was always there, very front center. And I said,
Yeah.
we need to make friends with her.
Well, no, you've gone from being a classmate to a colleague to a family to
Right?
a friend,
I
or to a
know.
friend to family. So
Who would have known?
Yeah.
Yeah.
But I hear you're going on vacation.
Well, no, we're just getting away for a little bit from the
Okay.
heat.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
it's hot. Yeah.
It's
Have to-
starting to,
We
it's
have
getting
to
a
take
little
the kids.
spicy.
Yeah, it is. Have to take the kids to,
Yeah.
distract elsewhere.
Enjoy. Yeah. And they work just as hard.
Oh yeah,
School,
I
it's
know.
work for
I
them.
know. My son, yeah, he's in high school now. So he's learning how to be more responsible.
Yeah.
So now he doesn't have a summer break anymore. Now he's got to wake up at 5 a.m.
Yeah.
and start his fall activities.
Gotcha.
So yeah,
Cool.
I'm just taking them away for a little bit.
Thank you for following up with me and not leaving me hanging.
I know.
Thank you. I
So
appreciate
sorry,
it.
mom duties, and I did have to rush, but because the time just escaped from us
Yeah.
that last time.
It was these episodes are fun.
They are.
Almost therapeutic to a sense.
But thank you for inviting me. It was
Absolutely,
fun,
yeah.
and I can't wait for the next one.
Yeah, we have several of them coming. I have tons of ideas, and
Great.
I think just getting meeting and being with the right group of people. You're always going to be growing, and you're always going to be, you just have to
want to know more.
Exactly.
And yeah. Oh, yeah.
Exactly. So thank you so much.
Thank you.
But I got to end it with a question. I have to. So what is your favorite childhood dream? Or I'm sorry, what is your favorite childhood memory?
Memory. It has to be riding in the back seat of my dad's topless Jeep.
Oh, how fun.
So he would take us on a little cruise, me and my cousins, and we would sit on the top of the backrest of the Jeep.
Mhm.
We would listen to he would put loud music on. It was always, my dad was into rock, classic rock.
Yeah.
Classic rock now, but back then. So he would take us on a cruise, and we would just have the best time because the wind blowing in your face,
Mhm.
your hair blowing out. But that was one of my favorite childhood memories, is riding on that Jeep
Ugh,
with my dad
I
and my cousins right next
that
to me.
is that sounds like, yeah, I'd rather
was
be
so
in
much
a
fun.
couple's Jeep. But it's funny because I have a similar favorite childhood memory.
What is it?
My dad owned a Camaro. I believe it was a '69 Camaro.
Ooh.
Gorgeous, like a gold. All I remember was gold, and it had white leather seats. Like the front seat was like a bench seat
Uh-huh.
and white leather. Well, in Arizona, you remember when you have leather seats, yeah, because
Yes.
you always,
Ouch.
yeah, you're gonna singe some skin there.
Yeah.
But that was the same memory. I always,
Oh,
at like
nice.
it. 3-4 years old. And I
Wow.
remember always jumping in the car, burning a little skin off, no problem, and running to my dad, putting my arm around him, and he would drive off.
Oh.
And I was like, like, this is my dad.
So
He's
exciting.
mine,
Yeah.
So we're always daddy's first love,
I
and
know.
vice versa. So
No, that's fun. My dad had a Corvette.
okay.
I was born in the early 80s, but his Corvette, I think, was 79 or 80.
Mm-hmm.
But he had a Corvette too. I don't remember riding in that one, but I do remember the Jeep.
Nice.
It was fun.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Awesome. Yeah. Beautiful memories.
Yes.
Yeah.
Beautiful.
No one can take those away from
No
us.
one. I mean, I
So,
still remember those like
yeah.
it was yesterday. Yeah. It's fun.
Well, it's been fun, and let's go build an empire, Krystal.
Right? Let's.
All right.
Let's do it.
All right. Well, enjoy your vacation and
you.
Get some rest.
Thank you.
I got you.
Thank you.
I'll
I'll see you when I come back.
Exactly. All right. Thank you.
Thank you.